Hi, this is the bad boy, Joey Janela, and you're listening to the Going in Raw podcast. Joey Janela always goes in.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Going in Raw.
Hey everyone, Kenny Omega here. In case you didn't know, we have an awesome kick-butt show called Steve and Larson's Going in Raw, and they're going to be supporting AEW every week amongst many other things. Goodbye and smooch. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Ooh, it's the go home to our 24-hour stream. There on the Twitch. We hit an amazing goal thanks to all the awesome friendos. Yes, 1,500 subs. 24-hour stream is coming up tomorrow. Very exciting stuff.
I mean, exciting. It's not the word I'd use to describe it, but it'll be experience. It'll be an experience.
Man, we got GTA races to play.
Yeah,
we've got lots of old timey game shows to watch. Maybe a movie watch along. Bound for Glory, Dynamite. Oh man,
you pretty much described like the first maybe 12 hours.
And then a lot more to come.
And then a lot more after that.
So, yeah, join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific to watch the misery ensue.
Suffer through.
No, man. It's
the first
great.
12 hours will be fine. It's the second 12 hours that are going to be a little rough.
That's where the real struggle kicks in.
Yep.
But the friendos will be here. Last time we managed to have 400 people on average
pretty
the
consistent
entire
audience,
time.
about 400 people. It was pretty amazing.
Cool.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. So that's going down.
Yes.
And then, we're going to do a live Numbers Don't Lie for the Friendo Club TV members out there. If you were like Thursday, you're like, hey, where was that? It's going to be tomorrow during the 24-hour stream for everybody. Anyways, we're going to talk about Rampage here in just a moment. But first, we got a couple bits of news, including a huge name, physically, literally a huge guy showing up potentially on Impact this coming Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to avoid potential spoilers for Bound for Glory, there'll be chapter markers in this episode to skip ahead to the SmackDown stuff. Won't blame you. This is your warning. If you don't want anything spoiled for Bound for Glory, skip ahead, whatever. All right, here we go. So earlier this week, we talked about a PW Insider report about a meeting that went down between Impact executive Scott D'Amore and Adam Scherr, formerly known as Braun Strowman. Today, PW Insider has an update. This is what they said. Quote, Adam Scherr, former Braun Strowman, was spotted flying to Las Vegas this morning from Chicago. PW Insider is told that Scherr, who plans to use the nickname The Titan going forward, expect to debut this weekend for Impact Wrestling, likely at tomorrow's Bound for Glory pay-per-view. They do have TV tapings after Bound for Glory in Vegas as well.
So for all we know, they'll save it for the TV taping. The big title match is Christian versus Josh Alexander. I didn't watch the go home tip. I haven't watched any of this latest round of tapings, I don't think.
And I'm not going to either. I'm not going to watch any of Impact tomorrow. I'm going to relax until we start, and I'm just go off the video packages before the matches.
I watched the first hour of last week's episode, and I didn't watch. There was like a sit down summit. It was the summit between Christian and Josh Alexander. I haven't watched any of that. I do know that there was a part where, because I saw on Twitter, Josh Alexander was like, basically, you don't even go here. He was saying, go until the day you're no longer paid by a billionaire who owns a different company, you're not truly an Impact player. And
I saw that too on Twitter.
So, yeah, I don't know if there's any real go-home math to look at here. But, Braun Strowman coming into the company. He's a big attraction.
Yeah, it's a huge get.
I think it's great. I think it's awesome that Impact is successfully trying to, or they're trying to, and with some success here with Adam Scherr, get some of these bigger names that maybe would have gone to AEW to this point. That Impact taping schedule is probably really damn attractive to some people who really just want to come in, do a week of tapings, and then take 5 months off, and then do another week of tapings. I'm exaggerating, but you know,
it's not by much. It's a week of tapings you get, and then it's 2 or 3 months off to do other things, take independent bookings, whatever the case may be. It seems like if you want the freedom to explore other avenues, Impact's probably the best place to do it because they don't have weekly TV. We got news on another former WWE superstar. So could we get another surprise appearance from a former WWE superstar bound for glory tomorrow? We may, but according to Fightful Select, by the way, go subscribe to Fightful Select. Absolute best. It won't be Jonah Rock, formerly known as Bronson Reed. So Fightful Select reports that both Impact and New Japan have interest in bringing in Jonah, but Fightful notes that their sources have told them that Impact sources, I should say, told Fightful they weren't confident that Jonah would make an appearance at Bound for Glory, even though apparently it was discussed within Impact.
Where would you prefer to see Jonah Rock, Larson?
I think Jonah Rock in New Japan would be amazing.
I agree. I think that that dude, big dude, can do a lot in the ring. Yeah. I mean, immediately you have a similar type with Jeff Cobb, who's doing really great work there. Man, I think there's a lot of great matchups. Whenever I see these dudes who are just like, who do stuff that's so interesting in the ring, I just think New Japan, you know? I mean, he's got, I think Jonah Rock does have tons of personality that NXT, for whatever reason, was never able really to mine. But yeah, New Japan, absolutely.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
Heck yes. Let's talk Rampage. That happened tonight. I thought it was a fun hour of wrestling. I thought there was some story advancement. We got a first match in the Eliminator tournament. We had the brackets revealed for the TBS Championship tournament. And we had seemingly an interesting alliance formed at the end of the show. Main event was Pac versus Andrade El Idolo. Pac won by roll-up, reversing a hammerlock DDT into a cradle. And then lights come down, and then Malachi Black is in the ring, kind of standing equidistant from Andrade and Pac, and then he missed Pac. And before we could really understand the true nature of the relationship between Andrade and Malachi, Arn Anderson comes out. That brings Cody as well. A brawl ensues. Cody gets the upper hand in advance of his match with Malachi tomorrow. But it's an interesting potential pairing of Malachi and Andrade, two exceptionally talented wrestlers. I kind of feel like Andrade, from a creative standpoint, has kind of been cast adrift a little bit in AEW. There's been a lot of false starts, and it seemed like they're going one direction. They brought in, first he came in and Vicky was his manager, and then Chavo was his manager. Now he's ditched Chavo because he's shooting the Rock TV show. And you know, it'd be great if they can come up with some sort of coherent creative for Andrade so they could use him more, because the matches he's had, especially two against Pac, have been outstanding. So that he can be featured more. I think just like for whatever reason they haven't been able to find the right angle to take with him creatively. Maybe this is it.
I don't know why that is. It was the same thing, and I know, you know, you can put it on WWE. I think in WWE he had like, I don't know, one solid run of creative when it was in NXT, and Zelina Vega came in and sort of whipped him into shape. That was some pretty good stuff. He was, you know, he was losing a lot, and then she was like, "Hey, stop partying." And I mean, a simple premise, as simple a premise as that was, it was pretty effective in terms of making me give a damn about the guy. So we all know he's talented in the ring. It's just nobody's ever really been able to, since NXT and on. I mean, I'm sure as La Sombra, he had plenty of good creative. But, yeah, like, they really haven't been able to crack it. His debut was kind of wonky. I wonder if the thought was, you know, sometimes maybe it's taken for granted, you know, that somebody will succeed based on, hey, this guy can really go in the ring. I'm sure he'll be fine. Just put him out there and we'll see what's fine. With AEW, I do think that sometimes the idea that giving wrestlers all that freedom, just go out there and do whatever, isn't really going to be the way. You actually kind of need something. Like with Malachi Black, it's clear that Tommy End knew what he wanted to do. In that case, freedom is great. A guy like Andrade comes in, maybe he's not the kind of guy who's like, hey, I have this story idea. He comes in. I'm not sure like all the freedom in the world is really going to service him much. They put him with some people. Like you said, Chavo went. There was also some, I don't know, maybe there was some travel stuff. I don't know. But yeah, maybe this will be the thing that'll get Andrade sort of on the right foot. I don't know.
I don't know. I hope so, though. And I when it happened and subsequently, I'm trying to think of what kind of angle they could take. I mean, this could be as simple as, so Malachi's got a match against Cody tomorrow on Dynamite. I'm guessing it's the main event. Maybe they just want to have this moment motivate a tag match on Rampage or Dynamite next week between Malachi and Andrade versus Cody and maybe Pac or Arn. Who knows?
Get Arn in the ring, absolutely.
Yeah, but even with that, you would hope or think that if they're going to take that step to have Malachi and Andrade team up for one match, they have some plans for something going forward, you know?
Yeah. I doubt that they would set something up without having something in mind. So yeah, no, that's going to be interesting stuff. How do you see that match going down tomorrow on Dynamite?
I mean, Cody technically stood tall tonight. He chased Malachi out of the ring with a chair. So, I mean, I want Malachi to win. I feel like if the whole story is still Cody kind of getting himself back to being, you know, an aggressive wrestler, take another L at the hands of Malachi isn't going to hurt him. It could help advance that story even further. Like I said in the kickoff show, we didn't get the last little training montage sequence where Cody has found the algorithm within himself and he's doing some training and Arn's really impressed and rooting him on is like, yeah, now you're ready. We haven't got that story beat yet. They didn't have their hug on the beach. Yeah, Cody hasn't climbed a mountain. You know,
say it was a bunch of students beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, so I feel like that's still a story beat yet to come. I would hope, and if that's going to happen, then he needs to lose to Malachi.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Cody's going to
probably.
I think they introduced all this to keep Malachi strong in a loss to Cody somehow. I don't know. I mean, Pac's involved now. Who knows? I think they probably did that though, because they don't want Malachi just to eat a straight up loss. I mean, sometimes you book yourself into a corner and it's hard to get out of it. So you just bring a bunch of people in it, you overbook the thing, and you're okay.
And that's what it is. Yeah. And then from there you can go to various places. Let's talk about this TBS championship tournament bracket. I have it here in front of me. So it looks like
same. Yeah. Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill, Nyla Rose, and Chris Statlander all get first round buys.
Correct. The other first round matchups are Anna Jay and Jamie Hayter.
Anna Jay's got to win that.
Yeah. The Bunny versus Red Velvet. Red Velvet will win that for her match against Jade.
Well, I mean, Thunder Rosa versus... I mean, I'm sure they're not going to shy away from doing face versus face, but Jamie Hayter also has a lot of people in her corner. She got Britt Baker there and Rebel, so maybe not.
Then Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida. You got to think Shida's going to win that one to get her 50th win finally.
Yeah.
And then Penelope Ford versus Ruby Soho.
Oh, that's a gimme. Yeah.
So I would think Anna would take on Thunder Rosa in the second round, Red Velvet against Jade Cargill, Shida versus Nyla Rose, and then I would assume Ruby versus Chris Statlander.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ruby probably... I don't know. We might see a Ruby versus... I could see a Ruby versus Jade Cargill final, maybe. Yeah, I could see that.
Jade has to win this. Jade has to win this tournament.
You'd think so, yeah. All right, let's take a quick break here to get a word in from our sponsor, Simply Safe. You know, Larson, when you're like me and you have a house full of gold, talking about the one IWGP title I've got left here in my predictions titles, you got to keep your home safe. And I've got some big news about my favorite home security company. Simply Safe has a brand new wireless outdoor security camera that is engineered with all the advanced tech and security features you need to help keep you, your family, and your title safe.
That's right, Simply Safe, the system that was already named by U.S. News and World Report the best home security system of 2021, has gotten even better. This new wireless outdoor security camera has got an ultra-wide field of view so you can watch your whole yard. Plus, 1080p high definition resolution, so you can zoom in and clearly see things like faces and license plates, and a built-in spotlight with color night vision, so you can keep an eye on what's going on day or night.
That's right, man. And the camera integrates with your Simply Safe home security system, meaning your protection extends outside. Together, it means every door, window, and room are protected. And now your property, including your championship belts, or belt in my case, will be too.
To learn more about the exciting new Simply Safe wireless outdoor security camera, visit simplysafe.com/raw. What's more, Simply Safe is celebrating this new camera by offering 20% off your entire new system and your first month of monitoring service free when you enroll in interactive monitoring.
Again, that's simplysafe.com/raw.
Speaking of tournaments, tonight's Rampage kicked off with the first tournament match of the Eliminator Tournament, determined new number one contender, or next number one contender for the AEW Championship, Orange Cassidy versus Powerhouse Hobbs. I was really hoping Hobbs would win this. They showed a little thing, a little package beforehand that showed, I think Cassidy rolled up Hobbs to beat him last July, and sure enough, that's how he won tonight as well. Hobbs was wrecking Cassidy basically the entire match, and he was wrecking him so bad in the corner, the ref was like, hey, you know, you've had your 4 or 5 seconds, back off. And
I get 5 seconds.
And so Hobbs picks up Bryce Remsburg, the ref, and puts him in the corner, and Hook's like, he gets on the apron, he says, you got to calm down, use your head.
Yeah.
You know, you do this, you'll get DQ'd. And Hobbs starts to calm down, and he puts his hand on Remsburg's shoulder, and Remsburg knocks it off. And this allows Cassidy to come to. He rolls up Hobbs to get the win. He advances. He'll take on, most likely, Mox.
Now that they're done with, I assume, the Brian Cage stuff, maybe we can get a little bit of character development here in Team Taz. I think Hobbs is a guy that you and I both really, really like, and I like that they're giving us some indication as to, okay, he's got all the ingredients. Now he needs to, like, figure out how to act smarter in the ring and control himself
now
a bit
it's time
more
to put it
pick
all
up these
together, you know?
wins. Yeah, exactly. After that, we had a Penta interview, but it's just him and Alex. He's about to talk, and he notices a couple of dudes in Super Frog masks, and they're over there at ringside. They're behind there where the fans are, and they start throwing up the Cero Miedo signs. Penta walks over, and he's like, "Hey, it's the freaking FTR, right?" So he like unmasks them. It's just a couple of jabronis. It's not FTR, but then FTR and Tully do come out. They lay out Penta and Alex, and they hold up the AEW tag titles as well as their AAA tag title belts. And then Pac comes out to run off Fatur FTR.
And Tully, yes. And after that, we had a pretty good match between Anna Jay and Britt Baker. Britt gets the win here. But it was a pretty strong showing for Anna Jay. She had the Queen Slayer on Britt a couple times. One instance where she had the Queen Slayer on, Hayter gets on the apron. That little bit of a distraction allows Britt to roll up Anna Jay. That gets her 2. Anna then kicks Britt, knocks Hayter off the apron, puts the Queen Slayer on again. This time, though, Britt gets her foot on the ropes. But then Britt hits Anna with a super kick, puts on the lockjaw. Anna taps. Bell rings. Britt puts lockjaw back on Anna, and then Ty Conti runs out to make the save, and then she holds up the title.
Yep. After that, that's when we get the TBS title tournament bracket revealed. Then we had, oh man, this is a bummer. Usually, of course, we get the awesome Mark Henry doing these interviews. This time, a step down, Tony Schiavone, WCW legend, doing the interview between the split screen between Andrade and Pac. Andrade tells Pac, he's like, hey, buddy, I beat you. I'm going to beat you tonight. He says, I got friends all around the world, todos los mundo, and tonight I'll win easy peasy. And Pac says, and Tony's like, hey, your response. And Pac's like, hey, listen, man, this should have been settled weeks ago. We both have travel issues all the time. He says, I had you beat in the center of that ring, but then you brought in tasers and iPads and your jabroni assistants. Tonight, I'm going to see revenge from the Death Triangle, and maybe then you'll be done obsessing about us, always bugging us, talking about I'm their boss. I'm not their boss. I'm their hermano.
And then we had that match, and it delivered yet again.
Holy crap.
These two guys go out of the way to beat the hell out of each other in the ring.
No kidding. So Andrade tweeted out at about 20 minutes ago. FUWWE. I guess maybe that means I get to do all the cool stuff here in AEW. But then WrestleVotes said this is only, like, quote tweeted this and said, this is only the beginning of the story that unfolded tonight. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Maybe he meant that. Maybe he meant something about Charlotte. I don't know. Some sort of some mystery angles going on here between WrestleVotes and Andrade. Apparently.
Maybe.
What's going on with that?
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see that WrestleVotes tweet. Interesting. Anyways, yeah, heck of a match. These two guys just beat the hell out of each other. That slingshot DDT that Andrade did on the apron. Holy shit.
Oh my God, I know. Yeah, there was a couple spots where like they were just going off the apron. Yeah, it was nuts.
Taking nasty looking spills to the floor and stuff.
Poison Ranas.
Yeah, hits Andrade with a poison Rana. Andrade responds with the back elbow. He goes for a hammerlock DDT. Pac blocks. They trade some roll ups. Andrade goes for another DDT. He's got the hammerlock in, and Pac rolls him up to get the win. And that's, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, lights come down. Malachi shows up. Myths Pac. He goes and gets a chair from under the ring, and then Arn wanders out and channels like Prince Devitt and
gives him the gun finger, man.
Right at Malachi.
Real.
And so Malachi is distracted by that. That allows Cody to run in. He attacks Malachi and Andrade from behind. He lays him out. He goes and gets the chair that Malachi had. He's about to take a swing at Malachi, and Malachi slips out of the ring to avoid the chair shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cody seemed pretty hyped to be out there.
Yeah, so maybe in advance of their match tomorrow on Dynamite, we'll get that final training montage bit.
Oh, that could be, huh?
I feel like we need that where Arn finally realized, all right, my guy is ready. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like we need that. Maybe Cody's not ready, though.
If we're booking this for We Book Raw, but we're doing We Book AEW, what is the Ice Cream Man, Malachi Black's motivation for aligning with Andrade? Remember, this is us doing it for our goofy We Book series.
Yeah.
How about this? So Malachi Black was the Ice Cream Man.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Correct.
What maybe Andrade is like, is there a similar version of the Ice Cream Man for like in Mexico perhaps?
All right.
I don't know what that would be. Maybe somebody can let me know. Is there like a truck that drives around and does something else? Some other wonderful delight? And then they form a team where they service, it's like, hey, a multicultural thing. We have ice cream and whatever it would be. I don't know.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I don't know.
Jorge D says, oh, okay, here we go. Loco Motif says, the corner man, the paletero. Gelato man. Jorge D says, La Michoacan is the #1 ice cream place in Mexico. El paletero. That's good. I like that.
Okay. All right. There we go. We got a story then.
Yeah.
All right. You want to answer a few questions?
It's not really a story. Cody, why don't you like sweets?
Here, Cody.
Load up your...
Cody, chill out. Have an ice cream.
Load up your questions, friend. We only have 4 here on the Patreon.
All right. We got a couple subs
and
here.
they're all WWE questions. That's what I get for combining Rampage and SmackDown.
All right. So
questions.
Floppy Dodger with the sub, G-Man with the sub says, who will be the first NXT 2.0 guy to be drafted and brought up? Braun Breaker.
Oh, man. I think once they resolve this Von Wagner found a dead body on his property storyline, then he's going to go straight to main. That's why they're not putting him in the title picture right now. He had his little dance in the main event. Now he's trying to get he's above title with a Dateline-esque story. True crime is huge these days. Von Wagner found a dead body on his property. He's trying to get Kyle O'Reilly to help him. Once that happens, he's heading straight to main.
So Silk Toast here in chat says, Tommy N just tweeted something ominous. This is the tweet. All men are capable of being corrupted. signature you put down for your soul when you picked up that chair was dipped in blood. Rhodes, tomorrow we dance with the devil one last time.
I can't wait till they do like the behind the scenes on Roads to the Top, and it's just him and Cody and Malachi clowning.
It's just totally like relaxed.
Yeah, but Tommy End doesn't know there's cameras there. He doesn't know they're filming that for Roads to the Top, so he's going to be pissed off about that. That wasn't really me. That was the husk of a shell of a man.
That wasn't
Husk
Malachi.
of a shell?
That was Tom.
That was Tom budging. And I'm not budging off that.
RT.
That's good.
RT. Go ahead.
Oh, that'd be great if he came in AEW as Tom Budgeon.
And I ain't budging.
That's a catchphrase.
Stubborn Tom Budgeon.
Stubborn Tom Budgeon. Why didn't he go with that?
All right,
that's great. That's how we would do We Book Raw.
There we go.
Stubborn Tom Budgeon.
There we go.
I ain't budging off that.
RTG says, well, Charlotte and Becky were both in gear, so maybe a canceled title match. We'll get to that in the SmackDown recap. But, oh, wow, that was a disappointing ending.
Yeah,
well, it was exactly what we thought was going to happen.
They were in their ring gear, huh?
Yeah, they were both in their ring gear, yeah.
They changed it at the last minute. That's why it was so awkward, too.
Could be.
Last minute change. Come on, Fightful, hop on that.
Jorge
Hot
D.
dog vendor.
Jorge D says, what seriously is the end game with Cody? Does he beat Malachi, then moves on to the next ex-WWE guy, or is he going for the full Rocky movie series storyline with this NWO Rocky gimmick?
Yeah, and then Miro will be the guy. Yeah, Miro will be the Drago.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I'd actually be cool with that. I'd be cool with that if Miro versus Cody was a thing, as long as Miro won. But the thing is, Cody's like winning all these things.
I know.
He like that's the Cody thing. He loses at first because he always takes his eye off the prize, and then he goes away and he comes back and then he wins.
I know. Scott Hawks with the sub, thank you, says with the relationship with Andrade, would you like to see Charlotte in AEW? Personally, I think she would be the last thing the women's division would need due to her need to dominate the roster. Now, I don't necessarily know if that's Charlotte's need to dominate the roster or if that's Vince McMahon wanting to have a dominant presence on the roster and booking Charlotte like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That being said, they have booked her so massively that how would you not have her dominate the roster, you know? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Yeah, I think that she's, I don't know. I think I probably appreciate AEW, what they do with their roster a bit more in WWE, but you know, WWE, they do feel big still. And Charlotte just feels like a superstar over there. Mm-hmm. And it's always weird to see somebody come back down. It's like Hogan and TNA. It's like, oh, that don't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that she'd fit. I don't know.
Yeah. Heel long heavy. If AEW added 4 more women to the TBS tournament to make it 16, who should they be?
Let's see here. Who
Lulu
is
Pencil.
Abaddon? Lulu Pencil, Abaddon. Wait, is Emi Sakura not in this thing?
No. So Lulu
Emi
Pencil,
Sakura.
and Emmy, and then Abaddon, and then
bring back Maki Ito.
Oh, good.
There.
I was gonna say Leva Bates.
I watched. Did I watch all of it? Yeah, I watched all of Dark this past week.
Oh wow,
hasn't changed a bit.
Yeah,
it's all just the same. It's just jobber squash matches. The commentary is the thing on Dark, because like Eddie Kingston came out for the Lance Archer match to be on commentary. It was just literally him and Taz yelling at each other the entire time.
That's amazing.
It was pretty funny because they kept on cracking each other up, but they were trying to stay in character and just yell at each other. It was pretty funny.
White Brownie, who's the Von Wagner of AEW?
Oh, you'd have to go to Dark for that,
probably.
And I don't know, because I just watched the one episode. And like it's just in one ear out the other. Like I forget all the jobbers immediately. If we're looking at like who in AEW on main roster comes off like a dude who just found or a gal that just found a dead body and they're trying to find somebody to help them out with it. Maybe that's why Orange Cassidy doesn't talk all the time.
Could be.
because like he's like, oh man, got this dead body on my thing. And they're like, hey, how are you doing?
Zonto says Arn Anderson.
Well, no, he put the body there.
Yeah,
he put the body.
He
there.
would discover it.
Yeah. Oh, Fear and Loathing says, could it be Andrade really hates Madcap? And he tweeted about that. He said, these jokes are terrible. Fuck you, WWE. These jokes are terrible. Dang MQ says, if Malachi Black shows up on Roads to the Top, he will say it's one of the many Tommy Ends from the Black Mass official Twitch channel. The Tommy's End.
Tommy's End.
Oh, man. Zondo says, I bet that's the story. Roman went 40 minutes over his segment. Had to either cut Happy Corbin or the women's title match, and you cut the women's title match instead. Oh, that's funny.
My goodness.
That's good.
My goodness.
Do we need more questions, or are we good?
Yeah, let's get a couple more questions.
Let's get a couple more questions.
If we can. So tomorrow on Dynamite, here, I'll just run this down real quick.
Okay.
Using the matches announced, we got Cody versus Malachi. We got 2 tournament matches. We got Archer versus Kingston, and Bryan Danielson versus Dustin Rhodes. Those will both be pretty fun. Then we got Ruby versus Penelope Ford, Shida versus Serena Deeb for the TBS title, and then, oh wow, Dan Lambert gives stipulation for America Top Team versus Inner Circle.
Good. It's going to be 20 minutes of just his face just yelling, just.
Yep.
My chest always tightens when he just goes on a rant.
I know.
He's like a walking heart attack.
I know.
It's like watching what was that dude's name? Kramer? The not from Seinfeld, the guy from the Money Guy.
Yeah.
Jim Kramer?
Yeah.
You ever watch him when he's just ranting at the TV?
Slamming on all his buttons. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to take financial advice from this guy?
I know.
Like he's giving me anxiety.
I mean, the one stock I'd want to buy is whoever makes those buttons, because I'm sure he breaks a ton of them. You know. Jorge D says, really random, but today is Curly Howard's birthday. Who are the 3 Stooges of modern day wrestling?
What a tragic story. The 3 Stooges. They were the CBS or whoever it was. Columbia hid how much they made for the movie studio from them for the first like 20 years of their career. They were like deep into their 50s by the time they realized that they were a massive worldwide phenomenon, and they kept on going. But like, I think, yeah, Curly or whoever the first, there was like 3 Curlys, I think. And the first guy, I don't think really saw much money. Yeah, man, that was messed up. What a jacked up situation that was.
That is messed up.
Everybody's bad. Nobody does good things, man.
Top 3 Stooges of modern day wrestling.
Well, Yano for sure. He's like number 1 in my book.
Yeah.
Yano, I'd say Kota Ibushi. All the DDT Pro stuff.
Okay, good.
We're putting the firecrackers in his butt and stuff. Give me that stuff. And then I'd say you've already Madcap. Yeah.
Gosh.
And then R-Truth.
Yes.
R-Truth.
Oh, he's hilarious. R-Truth is
he's
funny.
Great. Yeah. Mel D says, I always mute Fight TV anytime Dan Lambert speaks on AEW. It's so obnoxious. It's too much.
Yeah, it is. It is too much. It is too much. Anyways, time for SmackDown review. That'll be up to around the time this is up. And then we'll see everybody tomorrow for 24-hour stream.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.